Things move fast in Pittsfield, Virginia. So fast that Tony Reed can't catch up to his friends.
As people around him start dying, a mysterious force is revealed to be changing the town's youth.
This is not happening.
Is it another miracle drug from Red Museum? Are they eating the beef, the tainted beef that's making them aggressive?
No, I think it's bees. I think it's bees that are stinging the population, and certain people getting stung get super fast.
Interesting.
I think that they're linking the plots back together. I think that's how it's happening.
Another BEE word.
Another BEE.
But you just changed the last one.
It's possible.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Rush, Season 7, Episode 5.
Yeah, it's finally here.
Andrew.
David Amann at the helm again. He did Terms of Endearment, Aguamala in Season 6.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was a good episode.
Dang. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say one of those is bad.
But which one is the real question, right?
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Anyway.
And also noteworthy, directed by Robert Lieberman. This is the only X-Files episode he'll do, but he directed over 2,000 commercials and about like a handful of movies, including Fire in the Sky from 1993.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. And it has Robert Patrick, who goes on to be Agent Doggett. Zero coincidence there.
Fire in the Sky, it does.
Yeah, Fire in the Sky has Robert Patrick.
Yeah. I thought you meant Rush.
No.
It's like, it's not a Rush. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. Well, this is another teen angst episode, ladies and gentlemen. And if you've been keeping track, there's one every couple seasons, it feels like. So
let's recap which ones those were. Obviously, Schizogyny in Season 5.
Yes.
Which was, bar none, one of the worst episodes ever.
Yep. There's DPO in Season 3.
Oh, DPO is the clear inspiration
Victor.
for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also a really good episode. Syzygy, a favorite of mine, to teenage girl angst.
I'm Rolodexing the episodes in my head right now. Bing. No, I don't think so. And I don't think in Season 1. So. There's Angry.
Well, DPO was Season 1.
DPO was Season 3, sir.
Oh.
Along with Syzygy. Nothing in Season 4. Nothing in Season 6.
What about the Kalusari? Wasn't that maybe a little bit of angst in there?
Season 2, but I don't know that qualifies because it's just Demon Child.
Yeah. Yeah. Child angst.
There's definitely an age bracket for this type of episode. Anyway, that being said, it has a significant genre to live up to because they're either good or bad. So we're going to see what side of the fence this one drops on in a few moments. Or an hour.
Well, clearly bad is the answer. Kids are bad.
Really?
Kids are dicks, actually. The teenagers in this episode are dicks.
Absolutely.
Which I suppose can be said for teenagers generally, but
absolutely. Goes without saying. Well, Andrew,
all right, I'm ready to.
You ready
to rush into it? I don't know. It's not a good one for this one.
It's not a good one. Okay.
Let's make a speedy entrance through. Oh, I have it. Oh, we can do what they did in the episode. We could record ourselves really slow. And then in the edit, you can fast forward it so it's
normalish speed.
It's normalish speed, but will be weird looking.
You know what? I don't have novel 4 hours on my docket today. I don't know that I can do that.
You haven't had dinner yet, so you're like, no, we're not doing that.
I have to sleep before work tomorrow.
But we could have a podcast first. Would people notice the difference when we use a slow voice for each word and then you fast forwarded it?
I mean, we can try it. We can try it.
Right. I don't think we're going to try it. I just like the idea of it. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's get started. Let's jump into this one and see what shenanigans the kids get up to. Well, we open The camera pulls back to reveal a funeral parlor decorated. Wait, I'm sorry. Those were my original notes. Let me start.
Oh, you are gonna not let go of that one,
No.
are you?
It was my own fucking fault. Anyway,
Loyal listeners, we originally had it so that Mike was going to be leading Millennium, and I suppose I was going to be leading Rush, and then somebody came up with the idea for a tribute episode to Mark Snow, and that completely misled the whole schedule, and there was some changing, and then at 11 a.m. this morning, Mike sends me a message saying something about Millennium, and I'm like, wait, aren't I doing Millennium? And you're like, oh, show me where it says that I'm doing Millennium.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't challenging you. I was like, I need to see this because I kind of remember it, but I don't really remember it.
And like 5 lines back in our text chain, it's like, hey, you doing Millennium? Yep. So
I'm obviously drunk or something. I don't know. I got a third of the way through this episode, and thank God I had the inkling to text you. It had nothing to do with, is this the right episode? It was just, should I text Andrew? Nah. Yeah, I'll text Andrew just on a whim. If I hadn't done that, this episode would not be recorded tonight.
You'd be like, hey, boy, what are you doing?
Well, we open in Pittsfield, Virginia. It's 11:49 p.m.
So not Tallahassee, Florida?
Not Tallahassee. Not Tallahassee.
Not Tallahassee. Okay.
It's night.
Right, I'll stop. Here we go doing Rush.
Somewhere else. So it's nighttime in the forest. A car's headlights break the darkness as it pulls up and parks. The engine stops and out steps a teenager. He heads off into the darkness past a no trespassing sign with worry on his face. Leaves crunch beneath his feet as he slowly walks, calling for someone named Max. A match strikes behind him. It's another young man lighting a cigarette. The unmistakable air of confidence on his face. Max tells the scared kid he's late. He had to wait for his mom to leave before he could come. 3 dark figures have converged here, surrounded by the blue light of the moon to exchange words. A girl, Max's girlfriend, Chastity, chastises.
Oh, look what you did there.
The boy, saying it's past his bedtime and that he's not cut out for this. When the boy asks for what, Max ominously suggests there's more to these woods than trees. But we don't let just anyone into our super secret club. He needs to know the kid isn't going to tattle about this place. Max tells him, if you make this promise, you cannot break it, no matter what, even if someone dies. He's being super serial, Andrew.
He is.
A spotlight pops up behind the scared kid, catching his attention. When he glances back to the other 2, they've vanished. It's revealed that the spotlight emits from a police cruiser. Deputy Foster approaches and collects the boy's ID. His name is Anthony Reed. He asks him if he has any outstanding warrants, which he does not. Makes Tony put his hands on the vehicle while he checks out the information. The deputy goes back to his car and radios in. Anthony stands sprawled on the hood of his car, helpless for the man to return. A quick cut shows the camera zipping past Tony, staring at him. Something is nearby. With a loud thud, the deputy falls to the ground, flashlight hitting the dirt. Anthony's curiosity beckons him to investigate. He calls for the officer but gets no response. The young man heads to the driver's door of the cruiser and picks up the flashlight. Immediately, he drops it, hands covered in blood. Dispatch is desperately trying to reach Foster, but there's no response. Anthony rounds the open door and gasps. Deputy Foster is sitting in the driver's seat, dead. The trauma the man has suffered is almost indescribable, but seeing as that's my charge, Andrew, I will try. From his jaw to the top of his head, it appears his skull has been ripped off, leaving a large, bloody crater with bone, cartilage, and brain tissue exposed in a bloody mess. Credits!
Typical X-Files, you know.
That's a gnarly fucking scene. I love it.
It is. It's a shame that almost immediately I started questioning.
Oh, come on. For the love of God. What is wrong with this? Go ahead.
Okay, so the conceit is that Max and Chastity have super speed. and they can boot around real fast.
Yeah.
They make a big deal of the crunchy leaves, right?
Mhm.
So they walk through the crunchy leaves.
Mhm.
If you were super fast and ran, would there not be a tidal wave of leaves exploding in your wake? Would you not break the speed of sound as if you move that fast? Would your clothes not explode into flames if you didn't explode into flames?
Let's just wipe that off the board. You got to give it some leeway. I mean, it's
okay.
It's network television. They can't.
Are you asking
naked
me
kids
to
running
suspend
around.
my disbelief? Is that
Just
what you're
a little
asking
bit.
me to do?
For fucking once, I'm asking you to do that.
Okay, I can justify this to myself if the power, in addition to making you go super fast, gives you both a force field of protection and a field of silence that surrounds you.
Oh.
And somehow also breaks all the laws of physics with regard to stuff that you pass by. So like you can zip by a field of leaves and none of them are going to even move. I can be okay with that. If those are the footnotes to the power.
Moving on.
Okay. Okay. I just needed to lodge that objection with the court before moving on.
All right. I'll have my own complaints later.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I need you to suspend your disbelief, sir. That's the only way this is going to fly.
Well, we come back at St. Jude's Memorial Hospital. Scully exits an elevator and meets Mulder already there waiting. She had plenty of time to review the file Mulder faxed her, which pleases him, but unfortunately it doesn't quite do what actually happened justice. A deputy is slain during his routine stop. Though tragic, isn't much of a mystery, she says. He continues the story. The man was beaten to death by an invisible assailant, according to the young witness. The witness, though, is accused of murder, she points out. Tony Reed, Mulder guesses he's been wrongly accused because he's an A student, having only just moved to the area. He's never been in trouble, but Scully isn't impressed. He brings her to the body in the morgue. It's an empty room with a single man on a table covered by a sheet. She snaps on some gloves, flicks on the light, and sweeps the sheet back to reveal the grisly sight. Mulder introduces the man as Ronald Falster. She can't believe her eyes. It looks like he was hit by a sledgehammer. When Mulder identifies the murder weapon as a police-issued flashlight, she recoils in disbelief. Not recoils, she scoffs in disbelief. She examines the cavity. The injury is consistent with being bludgeoned, and she quips he must be eating his Wheaties. Mulder prompts her to examine the back of the head. She peers under the victim's head to see a pair of wire-framed glasses poking out. Damn, Andrew, that is some hard hitting.
I am suspending my disbelief.
Oh, so you got a problem with this?
I just imagine the glasses would explode from that kind of violence. They wouldn't project back as spears. I mean, they're over the ears. Do you know how glasses work?
They
go over your ears.
I don't see.
They don't go through the back of your head.
But if say he like bashed him forward through the head, wouldn't the frames go in?
Sure, the frames would go through, but what I'm seeing are like the arms of the glasses.
I don't think you're seeing the arms. That doesn't look like. In fact, what I'm seeing, if I'm going to rewind this right now.
Okay, we're reviewing the video.
It looks like the arms are broken off, sir.
I thought I saw that the arms were like the spears sticking through the head. But anyway, all that to say, I mean, I have problems with this whole attack. And part of it is, I think the flashlight would also explode from the violence of this hit. But
fair.
We need the flashlight. Yeah.
We need the flashlight.
Listen, don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's so cool, the level of detail they went for this extremely gory murder. But
you just can't wrap
it's
your
an
head around
idea
physics.
that they needed. Yeah, they needed to skirt the physics to make it work. They needed to have a lot of asterisks beside this to work. Like, please just invoke religion and make it magic, because that makes it easier. as opposed to the super speed comes from a cave that makes you fast, but only for teens. There's a lot of anding in this. And
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Putting my cards on the table.
Putting them right on the table, aren't you? All right. Well,
I am.
She guesses that whoever did this was high on PCP or another stimulant, but his tox screen was negative. Something must have triggered his adrenaline response. The two are interrupted by Sheriff Hardin, who asks how long they'll be. He's a little bit put off by their inquiry. They have the kid who did it, so what's the holdup? Scully offers her assistance, but he refuses. They have a murder weapon with bloody fingerprints, and once the DNA results come back in, the case is open and shut. Mulder concedes defeat, but asks if they can speak to Tony Reed. It won't hurt his case, so what's the harm? We go to Pittsfield Sheriff's Station. The agents head to the interrogation room. Before they enter, Chastity passes them and gives Mulder a wry smile. They head in. Before Mulder can complete introductions, Tony, clearly shaken, blurts out that he's not talking to anyone anymore. Mulder levels with the boy. That might make things a little difficult. Scully continues. Why did the deputy stop you? Mulder presumes he was cruising. A dull town like this, it's to be expected. He should know. He grew up in a boring town as well. Tony remarks about his age in a quasi-aggressive manner. He knows what they're doing. All the cops come in here playing nice to get him to confess, but everything he knows is in his statement. Mulder fires back. Well, bear with us. Bear with our questions because we're old and stupid. How long was it between the scream you heard and when you found the deputy? Tony hesitates, and Scully reminds him this is probably the fairest hearing he's ever going to get. After a moment of consideration, he responds, 10, maybe 15 seconds. Mulder clarifies that he didn't see or hear anyone else. And do you really want to stick to that story? Tony ignores the question and asks to go back to his cell.
Can I just say that's the smartest thing that Tony Betts has done? Because I know it's 2000. I know it's the innocent age of law enforcement. But never talk to the cops is kind of the line he's taken there. And frankly, where's Tony's lawyer? Surely he's watched enough TV that he's like, I got rights here and I'm going to talk to my lawyer before I talk to any of you cops.
That's possible.
16 years old. His life is over unless he starts telling the truth.
If you really think he's guilty, Scully, why don't you ask yourself this? Why wouldn't he make up a more plausible cover story? Why didn't he say that a pickup full of hillbillies drove by, clobbered the deputy, and ran away?
I'm not saying he's guilty, Mulder. I'm inclined to agree that Tony Reed did not commit murder. But I think that he saw the person who did, and he may be covering up for it.
I'm not sure there was a person to see. I think there was a force at work here.
What kind of force?
I don't know, some kind of territorial or spiritual entity, maybe. Poltergeists have long been associated with violent acts like this, and they tend to manifest around young people. They seem to be drawn to the turmoil of adolescence.
Mulder, rather than spirits, can we at least start with Tony's friends? Please, just for me. I think there's one person in particular I'd like to talk to.
Let's wrap it up, people. 2-minute warning.
All right.
Hey, look at that. The camera focused right in on Chastity.
Right in on Chastity. Well, in class, she sits, bored and unamused with the test the class has been given. It's almost noon. She stares at the clock, burning a hole in it with her eyes, as the second hand rounds a full minute. The minute hand ticks one notch forward, and she rolls her eyes in disgust. In walks Max in a black leather jacket. He strides in with his trademark confidence and engages the teacher. Mr. Babbitt is displeased with him, who routinely causes trouble. He informs the proud student he just forfeited half his grade by missing the midterm, but Max isn't too sure. He's been studying. He'll take it right now, in 1 minute. Babbitt is skeptical and reminds him that even though his father is important, a failure in his class is permanent. Matt snatches the test and a pencil, turning towards the class. Without sitting, he fills out the test in a matter of moments, turns back, and lets it fall onto Babbitt's desk. Piece of cake. Chastity smirks. He goads the teacher to check it right now, and he does so, laying the Scantron key over the piece of paper. It matches exactly. The bell rings, and Max leaves along with the rest of the class, leaving Babbitt frustrated and contemplating.
You know, it's funny. I went to Scantron as well, but I don't think it's Scantron. I think it is a Scantron predecessor because the answer key is that template that goes over top of it.
Right.
And Scantron, as we all know, I don't know who wouldn't know this.
Scans and trons it to right or wrong.
It does the scanning and the troning. You insert it into a little reader and it automatically tabulates your multiple choice answers. But that's not done here by Mr. Babbitt. It is, in fact, a plastic overlay that he's using to confirm the quality of the answers.
Yeah. Out in the hall, the agents stop Chastity and introduce themselves. She remembers them and keeps walking despite their authority. The trio engage in conversation, agents trailing the girl who has yet to stop walking. She states firmly Tony didn't kill that guy. He doesn't have it in him. Mulder asks if she would do it, but she doesn't respond. When she continues to duck their questions, Scully says Tony will go away for the rest of his life. The girl seems a little mournful at the thought, and Mulder then urges her to say something if she knows anything. Just then, Max shows up, reminding her that if the agents don't have a warrant, you don't have to say nothing. Mulder gives him a hard time and suggests his father might have something to say about him butting into their investigation. Mulder points to Max's folder, which boldly announces his name. Pissed off he was one-upped by an old man, he takes Chastity away. Come on, babe. He gives Scully a once-over and remarks at how hot she must have been as a young person. Now,
I believe the exact phrase, you would have been quite the Betty in the age.
We're going to sidestep into Mike's editorial corner here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me just get around my corner here. Hello, Mike. Are you in your editorial corner?
I am in my corner here.
Can I join you, or is it just enough?
No, you're welcome. This is where we can all freely discuss the plot here. Okay. This is the safe zone.
I'm just sitting down in the corner here.
Okay. Ready. Leave it to the X-Files to play up an aspect of the week's story to an extreme level. Okay? I don't care how pompous this kid is. No one would clock Scully as A, having used to be hot, or B, old enough to be unrecognizable as hot. So I'm not happy with how dickish, as we mentioned before, these students are. I don't agree. This is wrong. The end. Thank you.
This has been a public service
announcement.
The writer of this episode, David Amann, clearly has some thoughts about the manners of the youth of the day. Yes, Max is clearly being painted a certain way so that we as the audience are being led into how we are meant to feel about him. Mm-hmm. And I share your concerns about the plot and the way the character is being written. The other concern I have, one, I suppose, is that Max is clearly like 35 years old and playing a teenager. And I don't know why they continue to cast.
I don't know if he's that old, but okay.
I don't know why they continue to cast these obvious non-teens and teen roles. Tony Betts looks the part. Chastity,
you keep saying,
I could see her. His
name is Reed. Tony Reed.
Tony Reed? I thought it was Tony Betts.
No, it's Leonard Betts.
I like
Cancer Man.
Oh, that's where I'm getting it. Okay, Tony Reed. I'll just do a little search and replace. But Tony, of the questionable last name, he looks the part. He does look like he could be 17 or something.
Right.
But Max, come on. Why did they do this? They did it in Milagro, too, with that guy who's clearly not a teenager.
I'm going to leave you with actually investigating how old Max is so we can see when he was in 2000, how old he was.
I will do it.
No,
you watch me.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, to cap this scene off, Sheriff Hardin calls the agents frantically, and we hard cut to the station. Hardin has a locker opened. They had the weapon here, and now it's gone. Mulder sees something on the ground and picks at it. It's a gray chunk that resembles melted plastic. Hardin confirms no unauthorized personnel went into this locker between the time they put it in there and when they came back for it. Scully asks to see the footage. All three of them review it, witnessing the deputies lock it and fast-forwarding to when they came to retrieve the flashlight. Hardin offers a humble apology for how he welcomed them to town, but then begs them for ideas as to what's going on. Without the murder weapon, the case is dismantled. Now he'll have to tell Crouch's widow the killer is going free.
He's 30 years old.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
As of 2000, when they did this episode, I guess 1999 when they probably produced it, he would have been 29 years old.
Okay. Did I say
I mean, the
Crouch?
actor is that age. What's that?
I said Crouch, didn't I? I clearly had the last episode on my mind. Because that's the name of the guy who died in the last episode.
Yeah, right. Listen, I was researching, so I can't validate what you actually said, but if you want to do it again,
right.
I will be paying attention
good.
this
I'll leave
time.
it in there.
So the surveillance tape moment.
Yeah. What do you think?
You know me. The only way the only way it makes sense. Again, I've suspended my disbelief, so theoretically, this is all fine. It's fine. I don't know why anyone would have a problem with this, but imagine that.
Why do you like this show?
I do like this show. I like it when they attempt to make stuff kind of realistic, but they're way off on this one. Imagine you rush in at super speed so fast you're doing all of this in the literal blink of an eye, and you run in there. You open up the door.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, you whip out the flashlight. You close the door, and then you run away. They are giving us a clue that the shoes suffer from this horrendous stress that they're under, right? It leaves globs of the shoe around. Mm-hmm. So clearly there is some energy being expended here. There's some energy transmission. The speed of that locker door opening and then closing shut again, I contend there would be...
The locker would have exploded from the force.
It would have exploded. Yeah, it would have been just a nuclear bomb in that place.
Yes, but okay. So to cap off,
and again, moving that fast
there,
should be a sonic boom. But anyway,
so
I'm suspending my disbelief.
Mulder spots something and keys in on it. Between three frames, there is a blurry streak that sweeps across the screen and goes away. He goes back and nudges it forward. Nothing. Blur. Nothing. It is that fast. It appears to be at the locker for one split moment and then gone the next.
Amazing.
At the Reed residence later that night, Tony and his mom get into it. He doesn't want to talk anymore. He's tired. She presses him for more information. This isn't some bad report card. A man is dead. He reiterates that he did not do this. She inquires about the other kids, and he vehemently denies their involvement. Miss Reed stands firm and tells him he's done seeing them. When Tony protests, she doubles down. Absolutely not. She knows their type. Her tone shifts to a disheartened and concerned mother. We were coming here for a new start. No more bad schools or bad groups. You're doing so well. Tony pushes against that, saying she wouldn't know. She's never around. Oh, man. Low blow, Tony.
All teens are dicks. All
you
teens
think
are dicks.
this is my dream? To work 2 jobs? This is what I want.
Can I just ask, what is that accent?
I'm doing it for you, Tony.
It is such a... Is that like
somewhere
between New York?
It's somewhere between Boston, New York, and, Pittsburgh.
Do you think I want to do this to work 2 jobs?
You think I wanted to do this, Tony? No, Tony.
I want Tony to have that accent too. If he's not from around here, he He needs to have the same accent. Ma, what are you doing to me, Ma?
Hey,
Leave me alone. I just
step
want to be-
off. Hey. Whoa.
I didn't do those two guys. Those two guys. I didn't do this. Ma, you gotta believe me, Ma.
Well, she wants him to have a real future. Don't throw it away. When she leaves the room, he lies back on his bed to hopefully relax. But just then, he hears a tapping at his window. It's Max outside who, with a really, really cool nod, summons him outside to his car.
Oh, Max, you are the coolest guy.
Hard cut to the car speeding down an empty highway in the darkness. Tony in the passenger seat. Max is proud of the way Tony's handling things. Everything's fine. But Tony disagrees. Everything's not fine. A man is dead. He had to go. He was snooping around. Max wants him to stop asking so many questions and then speeds up. Tony braces himself and tells him to slow down. You ain't seen nothing yet. Suddenly, the car swerves on the road at breakneck speeds, scaring Tony, who then yells for Max. But when he looks over, Max isn't there. He reaches for the wheel of the out-of-control vehicle. It veers off the road and straight for a telephone pole. Once again, Tony braces himself for death as the car careens towards the immovable object. In a flash, he puts up his arms. The car slams into the pole with speed so fast that it slices the car down to the windshield, the back end lifting off the ground from the force. The camera lingers for a moment on the horrific crash, then pans down slowly to reveal a terrified Tony, that's his new nickname, who is still shielding his face, crouched nearby the destroyed vehicle. With barely enough time to process, Max walks up to him. I'm going to make you one of us, but I call the shots. Tony slowly looks back at the wreck. What just happened? So, we're going to take another sidestep into Mike editorial corner.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You can just walk around here with it.
Get comfortable, Andrew.
Are you in here? Okay. All right.
I'm here.
I'm
Okay, so
okay, ready.
I know you've had your issues so far, but this is where I start to get lost. Not lost, but it starts to lose me, if I should say.
Ooh, okay.
The premise of the episode, good. I enjoy it. Good gore. Fun little story so far.
Yep.
However, this is where it starts to crumble because it's not entirely consistent. Nothing there from what we've seen so far, nor will see in the end by the end of the episode, suggests his newfound speed would allow him to exit the vehicle, speeding down the road, somehow know where it's going, catch back up to it, open the door and kind of pluck Tony out of the seat and place him next to the wreck before it crashes. I think it's a little too much. There's nothing to say that he's able to just kind of pick up a 130-pound awkwardly folded kid with ease, unless I'm wrong. How do you view that?
I think you're wrong. I think this scene makes perfect sense.
Whatever.
Because, Mike, I have suspended my disbelief.
You are a bastard.
We have officially changed sides of the debate on this particular episode. No, all joking aside, cool scene.
Yeah,
I think it's faulty in the for all the reasons I've gone up to so far, but for what it's trying to do, I think is really actually a very cool scene. The stunt work alone of getting that car to careen into that telephone pole and smash the way it does. I mean, first of all, one take, right?
Right.
Like there's no doing that again because that car is done. And it's just a really great shot. So I think we have to give some light applause for that. What I really wanted to see here was I kind of wanted to see exactly what you described. They do this at the end of the episode when, spoiler alert, Chastity shoots and kills both Max and herself with super speed. But I kind of wanted that bullet time type sequence here in this moment because this is where it deserves to be. This is where we deserve the reveal of what Max is actually able to do. So in slow motion, we see the car standing still, just about to hit the telephone pole, Max Actually, no, earlier, I suppose, because Max was gone at that point. So we just see Max politely walk over to the car, open the door, pull Tony out. And I'm fine if it's like literally Tony is frozen in time and easily liftable because the laws of physics don't apply here, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of marched over to his new sitting place. And then Max goes back and closes the door, and then the car picks back up and smashes into the telephone pole in full speed. That would be super cool to watch. And it would sort of fill in the blanks of, okay, this is the visual of what we see. And because they do it later, they could have done it here. And I think it would have been really evocative.
I do think it would have been cool. Absolutely. I do think it's a bit out of their realm. Like, this is 2000. It's not 2025 where they can do anything they want.
But I look at that end scene and I think they
had
did
capabilities, but
yeah, they did something there.
How bad would
I think
it
they
have
could have
looked?
found a way.
I don't know. That's possible.
It might not have been perfect, but I think it would have been possible. Like, you could do a quick cut away. Like, literally, you just hold the car in position. You have the wheels. No, you don't need to have the wheels spinning. They could be spinning in slow motion or something. You know, it doesn't have to move. Like, I could see it being shot, but obviously that is not my problem with the episode. It is all the physics.
My problem is...
But I love that this is where you're starting to fall off the train, because up till now it's been fine.
I think it's been fine. I understand there are inconsistencies, but this is where it starts to get really inconsistent, because it's giving Max another power. Is he super fast, or is he slowing down time? And unfortunately, I think the episode occasionally gets lost in that, because if he is moving so fast at this point that he's beating a car that's speeding, and he's rescuing someone from imminent death, I feel like you said with the locker and with the other things, Tony would be dead from moving that fast involuntarily. You know, it's like,
But they try and explain that away later by saying, you know, he's got all these injuries that you see from somebody
and I'm
who's
okay
been
with
in car
that.
crashes. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just too much. It's too much for him to exit the car, run around, again, know where it's going, pluck him out at the last second, and put him down. I don't know.
But I think that if they use the visual logic that they use at the end of the show, where Chastity does the gunshot and essentially shows us that it's the super speed is more about the fact that
how
they
perceive
as
time.
changed teens, they see things moving very slowly. So they can move at regular pace through a world which is super slow. I don't think they are in fact super fast. And I actually say that the logic that they have created up till now with the scenes that we've seen supports what Max does with the car.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a power with a lot of asterisks beside it to make it work with what we know of the laws of physics. But if you're willing to say, look, that's just what happened, suspend your freaking disbelief, then I think it actually tracks. I just think that this is an opportunity for them to show us how it tracks in a way that would be both really evocative and it would make sense. Yeah. Because you walk away for that moment going, well, what the hell happened? Did he teleport Max out of there? You know, I don't get how super speed does it, but you know, to see him walk around and just pluck Tony out of there would have closed the loop for me, and I think would have made sense for the rest of the episode going on. I don't like that they choose the last minute of the show to explain it. So
fair.
That's me.
It's that time, everyone. The Magus Media Production sales pitch. Please check out our homepage at magusmediaproductions.net so you can stay up to date on all of our shows. Check out our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Magus Media Productions, both of which have our Discord link on it, where you can join us for live shows as we record them for future release. At Magus Media Prods on X, our Patreon, patreon.com/Magus Media, where a $5 donation will help us keep the lights on and bringing you new content, and you get some stickers. Thank you for your consideration and support. Well, we go now. We all that to come back to the X-Files office. In Mulder's office sits Chuck Burks.
Instantly a better episode.
Hey, Chuck.
Sorry to make you trek over here for what's probably a glitch.
What'd you come up with?
Nothing but eye strain at first. Then I ran it through my imaging software. I'm here to tell you, it's not a glitch. It's what the camera saw.
Buckle up, Scully. I believe Chuck is about to take us on a ride through the paranormal.
Yes and no. Initially, I was thinking spectral manifestation, but with spirit activity, you'd expect to see light streaks, auras, atmospheric disturbances, translucent figures. Whatever this is, it's not a ghost.
Especially since ghosts don't go around leaving synthetic polymers in their wake.
That's what the gunk on the floor turned out to be.
Huh. I dig a mystery with layers.
Chuck, I get the feeling you don't know what the hell this is.
I cross-referenced the shape silhouette against every organic and inorganic object in the Library of Congress database. The closest match was a Soviet Akula-class submarine.
I think we can rule that out.
And then there's this weirdness. My enhancement brought up this dark edge around the anomaly.
A shadow.
That would fit with the lighting in the room. The problem is, it can't be throwing a shadow unless
Unless it's a solid object.
Which is impossible because it only appears for a single frame.
1/30th of a second. You know what? Maybe SCAG can give us a clearer picture.
Skag?
Spectrographic Color Attribute Generator. I'm beta testing it for JPL. It's still in the tweaking phase, but the basic idea is I assign known color values onto the black and white image. Then SCAG assigns chromatic values throughout the frame, in effect, making an educated guess at what all the colors might be.
With the tap of a button, the screenshot slowly wipes with new colors generating on the image. Mulder leans in, shocked. The colors of the high school. Purple and gold in the blur? It's at this point I should come clean, Andrew. This was me.
No.
The Hananiga Indians
Oh,
are in
yeah.
fact purple and gold.
That was the name of your
That was
school.
the name of my school mascot. And we were purple and gold.
And the team name was the Indians?
Yeah. I mean, problematic though it may be, I don't think the Hananiga Native
were they
Americans...
the East Indians? Because that might be easier than...
Hey, I didn't pick it. I wasn't a sports person. I couldn't have cared less. But that is officially still the name of the school.
Okay.
Anyway.
I would like to say I like this scene. I think it is, like the X-Files often does, a bright mark in an otherwise turd of an episode. I like Chuck.
Damn.
I like when they bring him in. It's smart writing. And the clue of using SCAG to generate the colors of the school jacket, it's pretty smart.
That's
So
good
I
stuff.
will give them top marks. It elevates it up from the poop pile into a better episode.
Okay.
The face you're making
Jesus.
right now.
Okay. We cut back to the school's large banner hanging over the bustling hallway. Tony, being a nerd, two-fists his backpack straps because he's gay. No, I'm kidding. I had to throw in the lingo of the times there.
Of the ages?
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
He cuts a swath through the crowd of people, kids all over avoiding and eyeing him for his perceived crime. He walks up to Chastity, who tries to say, "I love you," without saying it. "I'm not looking at you that way." Oh. He asks about what happened the other night. She tells him he'll find out. He says, "Maybe I'm not cut out for this, but it's a little late for second thoughts," she tells him. Max puts an arm around his girl and jokingly accuses Tony of horning in. They all head into Babbitt's class and sit down. Students still staring at Tony with zero subtlety. Max actually comes to his defense. You want to stare at something, you stare at me.
Oh, wow. He's actually a likable guy.
He's a
now.
likable guy in that moment.
We're totally turned around on Max. Sticking up for the
Yep.
little guy.
He actually does a 180 by the end of the episode. Babbitt has graded midterms, and save for a few of them, they all passed. He lays Max's Scantron, or whatever, out in front of him with a big circled F. Max is confused. He took the test and aced it. Babbitt dresses him down in front of everyone. I don't know how you got the answers, but you did, and I will not tolerate cheating. Max stands and flicks the paper at him, unceremoniously leaving. Tony asks Chastity how to tell him he's out, but she can't help him. She can't even tell him herself.
So I have a little side note to make on the teacher's decision to give him an F in this moment. I have a friend who is a teacher, and I asked him what the ethics were on doing this, because Max submitted his answers and they were all correct. The teacher actually says, I don't know how you did it, but I know you did it. So I asked my bud what the ethics of this would be. Like, is this something that he would do as a teacher, given the same fact situation? And he said, if a student's prior performance suggests that they didn't grasp the material in the past, then they might have had reasonable suspicion that the student was cheating. In that case, they would need to provide the student another opportunity to show what they know, whether by offering another test or more likely talking with the student and trying to glean whether or not they know the material. In reality, a teacher probably wouldn't do this, as this could land them in some hot water, create a lot of drama, and maybe none should be, and definitely negatively impact their relationship with that kid. And this is especially true if all that they have to go on is that they did really well in the test, especially a test where it's possible to cram and be able to regurgitate rote memory, a reason why these forms of tests are discouraged now. And that has been Teacher's Corner. Thank you for your patience.
Interesting. A very liberal way of thinking about it.
How would they have done it in your school, the Onondaga Indian School?
Hananiga. How dare you disgrace their name?
How dare I?
I mean, I've dealt with tough teachers before. I mean, I think if there is a genuine reason to doubt someone's performance, especially if he goes from a highly disruptive, insubordinate, misses class all the time, doesn't know the material beforehand, and then suddenly aces the test, I don't doubt the teacher would look at this skeptically.
Oh, I'm all in favor of looking at it skeptically, but
well, it's kind of the same thing with AI and writing papers.
Yeah,
you can, if you know what you're looking for, you can tell if something's faked, but you can't prove it necessarily unless you do a little digging. He just didn't do his digging. His would definitely be a little bit more, I know what your scores have been up until now. And now you're just suddenly an A student.
Yeah, I mean, I get that he's doing, the plot does this so that Babbitt can now become the next target of Max's rage. And that's fine. I just wanted to stick up for the teacher in this moment and say that, no, what am I doing? I'm not sticking up for the teacher, because the teacher should not have done this. The teacher is an idiot for having done this, because his job is about to go down the crapper. He's picking a fight with the sheriff's kid. And little does he know that the sheriff's kid is also a raging psychopath with super speed abilities. But maybe I'm spoiling it a bit.
Well, we'll just get there, okay?
Okay.
In the lunch hour, Tony plays with his food. Babbitt, with a lunch tray, walks down the center aisle and suddenly trips, spilling food everywhere. The kids laugh at their teacher. Embarrassed, he gets up and tries to clean up a bit. At the front of the large room stands Max, arms folded, staring at Babbitt. His image shifts a little bit, vibrating quickly for half a second. A loud scream sounds. It's Babbitt. As the camera curls around him, we see he now has a bloody face and 2 black eyes. The laughter turns to horror as they realize something awful's happening. A few kids stand up from the table and back away. With another flicker, the table rips furiously towards Babbitt, who hangs on for dear life as it quickly slides towards the opposing wall at the other end of the room. He screams for help, unable to prevent himself from being pinned. They slam into the concrete wall. There is enough force to break it wide open. Oh my God. With what little strength he has, Babbitt lifts his head and looks down the room to see Max just standing, After a moment, he gives one last flicker, and a chair flies at Babbitt. The camera zooms into the man's face and cuts to darkness. Splat! Pretty intense, Andrew.
This episode gets an A+ for gore. I will hand it that.
Absolutely.
I look at the table, though. I think, given the speed we've seen things move at before, I feel like it's actually moving slower than it should. But maybe Max's super speed is slowing down and he can't go quite as fast.
Yeah.
That's why we can actually see the little blurs. Oh, there's a little internal consistency going on here. That's what I'm going to hang my hat on.
Mm-hmm. I like the scene, and I do feel bad for Babbitt, especially when he trips, because that's just you know the feeling because everyone's been embarrassed like that. Oh man, no fun.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, the agents arrive to the crime scene. The lunch hall is empty, save for a couple deputies, the agents, and Mr. Babbitt's lifeless corpse, pinned through the head by a metal chair leg to the wall. Wow. It leaves a spray of crimson in all directions.
Amazing. It's ridiculously disgusting, but it's also amazing.
It's awesome. Scully has no theories. He's found more globs of goo, though, Mulder. He suspects Max could tell him what it is. Students have said Max was angry with Babbitt for failing him on his midterm, which gives him motive. According to People, he didn't go anywhere near Babbitt during the assault, and Mulder says maybe he didn't need to. He's pulled his records and it shows attendance and disciplinary issues, with rising grades somehow. Something about him is changing, and she agrees. Everything's changing. He's a teenager. Mulder posits that maybe his changing body is giving him some paranormal ability, maybe psychokinetic force. Just then, a deputy shows up. They're going to have to catch up with Max and his father at the hospital because Max just collapsed in the parking lot.
I'm wondering if this is they could have easily gone to a callback to Shadows from season 1. Because in that case, you've got a poltergeist protecting somebody, or at least appearing to do their bidding.
Right.
They could have sort of drawn on their memory banks and said, hey, wait a second, we did this before in season 1.
Yeah, I could see that. But, there's no poltergeist here. There's no protecting anyone.
Chuck has confirmed there are no ghosts.
No ghosts. Tony stops Chastity in the hall, concerned about Max. The less you know, the better, she says. We cut now to the forest. Chastity drives alone to the no trespassing sign. Mark Snow's shuddering and playful music laying on the spook. Beams of sunlight shine down across the hood of her car in an otherwise dense and dark forest. Not very good at tailing is Tony, about 10 feet away, pulls up behind her and watches her run off into the woods. He gives chase. She enters a cave of sorts, and not far behind, Tony creeps in after her. As he squeezes into the rocks, he sees a beam of light shining down on a central chamber. Chastity is nowhere to be seen. On the ground, at the center of the beam, is an oddly flat rock with a sort of symbol on it. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? Or am I seeing things?
I think you're seeing things. It looks like a natural formation to me, but clearly it's a pretty neato location to shoot.
It's a cool location. Tony steps onto the stone with one foot. His arm begins flailing uncontrollably, impossibly fast. He pulls away from it, gathers himself, and commits. With both feet, he steps on and begins convulsing, head slamming back and forth, his body twisting with his appendages in a dizzying display. We fade out. Not bad.
It's a really neat effect.
Yep.
Again, this one is actually pretty simple to achieve.
Yeah, very easy.
You
slow camera.
You put your camera at a low frame rate, and the tracking around Tony is very, very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then in editing, you bring it up to 30, and everything goes to regular speed. But your subject looks super freaky as he all around.
I can just imagine him doing that for 5 minutes straight, because that's really what he did. He was freaking out.
Must have, yeah.
In place, and they just had that camera on a slow pan around him. But it looks really cool because it looks at normal speed. Really cool effect.
Very, very smart. Yeah, I like it a lot. Again, it's the technical stuff that's working in this episode. The gore effects are great. This effect is good. It's just the underpinning logic behind it I got a problem with.
Well, let's bring it up at every moment we can.
Let's both of us do that, yes.
The agents enter Max's room. Hardin is already with him. He stops the agents immediately. They've already told him why the agents are there, and before they get any ideas, they better turn around. Mulder out and out accuses Max of murder, to Sheriff Hardin's dismay. Who do you think you're talking to? Mulder clocks Max's issues with authority. Not to take it lying down. Pun! Max says, if I killed him, how'd I do it? The agent lays out his theory. You've figured out a way to tap into something paranormal. It gives you abilities. Hardin looks confused, but doesn't immediately jump in to defend his son. Scully, on the other hand, reads off Max's chart. High temperature, high heart rate, low blood sugar, and electrolytes show acidosis. All symptoms are consistent with extreme exertion and withdrawal. Hardin keys in on the word. From what? Mulder fills it in. The rush. Whatever gives him the power to rearrange furniture and turn a flashlight into a battering ram also takes a lot out of him. He needs another fix, but Scully lets him know his condition is worsening, and if he doesn't tell them what's going on, they won't be able to save him. Hardin, looking back to his son, leans in. Is any of this true? He says no, and he warns him, you better pray I don't find out it is. The three adults step out into the hall. Hardin's demeanor has softened a bit. He's not a bad kid, he just needs discipline. Mulder then appeals to his sense of justice. If your son is in trouble, I'm sure you want to know about it. He then asks for permission to search the house. But Hardin refuses. He's not ready to call his son a murderer and leaves. Scully informs Mulder there's missing test results that they need to look at, and they're going to track him down. They walk away from the camera, and as they do so, Chastity enters the frame behind them, secretly. Ooh. She's being sneaky, Andrew.
Ooh.
Being sneaky.
Chast is sneaky.
In the x-ray room, Scully slips in his body and brain scans. What she sees bothers her. His brain has lesions from concussions, arthritis, and stress fractures throughout his body, ligament tears. This kid is almost dead. You'd see this stuff in pro football players or someone crashing cars for a living. She has no explanation for what she's seeing, but Mulder thinks he's beginning to finally understand it. At the nurse's station, a beeping sounds, alerting a nurse. She sees a monitor display to Max's room. Apparently, Andrew, they don't believe in privacy at this hospital. I don't know.
Not in that room.
I don't know that this is legal. Inside
in Virginia, it's fine. Crazily, in Virginia, it's totally fine.
Apparently,
yeah.
Inside is Chastity helping Max up. The nurse goes to check on him, who shouldn't be moving. She enters. Max is in bed alone. What the hell? She thought she saw someone come in, and he plays dumb. When she exits the room, Chastity reappears behind her with a wheelchair for her boy.
Wait.
What?
We've already had a scene where somebody is able to zip, zoop, zoop, come in real fast and just be gone the next second. Wouldn't this scene have just been, she's looking at the screen, there's Max in bed, she looks away, she looks back, Max is gone. I think that's the scene. I don't know why they need to have the bait and switch of Chastity's there and then she's not, and then she comes and sees, and then
I don't know.
And Chastity's there again.
Because they needed to pad it out just a little bit longer.
They needed another 30 seconds of runtime.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, the whole explanation of how they knew she was coming is a little wonky. I don't know how that played out, but whatever.
Consistency is all I ask.
Yeah. Back in the x-ray room, the agents look at Max's personal effects. They find his shoes gray. Mulder checks the soles. On the bottom, they are extremely worn, melted, with pebbles and other debris fused into them. He puts it together. This is what they've been seeing residue from. He's got it.
Hardin has found a way to move faster than the eye can see.
Mulder.
That would explain how Babbitt was killed. It would also explain how a chair and a table appeared to move on their own with enough force to penetrate a wall. Force equals mass times acceleration, isn't that right?
Yes, Mulder, but it's impossible. The human body just isn't designed to move like
Exactly. That is why his is falling apart.
Agents, catching.
Well, just then a nurse comes in, urging them to Max's room, and they head over there to discover the man is missing from his bed. What?
Just the equation of force equals mass times acceleration. Thank you for that lesson there, Mulder. But energy equals mass squared, I believe, is what Einstein said. And with that kind of energy expenditure, surely there's an equal and opposite reaction that should blow up these people. Anyway, I love how Mulder is applying science to the equation. And again, science does not apply as we have seen it. Mulder should just suspend his disbelief. That would make this episode so much better.
His agentness a lot better. He should just get on board with what's happening here. Max and Chastity are back in the forest. As he ditches his hospital gown and dresses himself, she pleads with him to stop. Enough people have been hurt. She begs with him to go with her away, anywhere. She wants him to get help. For what? This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I can't go back, and neither can you. When Max heads into the cave, a twig snaps, beckoning Chastity's attention. It's Tony, who stumbles out from around a corner, dizzy and unstable after his experience in the light. He collapses to a log and expresses the rush he felt. She didn't want this for him. He followed her earlier because he was so worried about her, something she finds sweet. She wishes things could be different, but Max isn't in the hospital anymore, and he poses a threat to everyone. At Max's house, the sheriff comes in. Bells on the door sound his entrance. As he heads upstairs, he steels himself and opens Max's door. He finds a normal teenage room, messy, posters everywhere, clothes everywhere. He opens his closet to find several pairs of the same shoes. Nothing unusual there. Hardin heads to the dresser and begins digging through his clothes. Then he pulls up a flashlight with dried blood all over it. He hears the bells downstairs and heads downstairs to see who it is. The front door's opened. No one there. Suddenly it slams shut. It's quiet. As he heads to the family room, still no one there. Then Max appears behind him, scaring him. He stands with the flashlight. When Hardin confronts him about the deputy's murder, Max actually admits to it. Hardin tries to grab his son firmly, but as Max's image shifts, we hear a loud whack and the sheriff doubles over in pain. Max tells him the deputy always pushed people around, just like Babbitt and just like you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. As he is about to kill his father, the front door whips open, the flashlight disappears from his hand, and as the camera pans around, we see a revolver lift to Max's head from behind. It's Tony, gripping the flashlight and holding Max at gunpoint. I can't let you do this. That's a good scene.
Twist.
Nice little action scene. Nice, clever editing to make it look pretty smooth there.
A nice moral moment, though. Child abuse is bad. It's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Absolutely. So it really...
I believe they did that in...
Max is the good guy.
I believe they did that in Schizogeny, too.
Yes, they did.
Clearly, this episode's on the same level.
In the hospital, Hardin is on a gurney being rushed to help. Mulder meets Scully and shows her the bloody flashlight. He thinks someone intervened with Max's killing of his dad. Who could intervene if he's got the abilities you claim? Tony could. That night, Chastity and Tony drive in a quicker-than-safe clip towards the cave. I didn't want to say rush. Max is slowing down. He let Tony stop him, and if they don't get there before he does, they're both dead. When they arrive, they both run into the cave, but Tony trips. She goes in ahead. When he gets inside finally, she's unconscious, lying in the light, close to the center, but not in the center, Andrew. He speedily goes to her aid. You're late, kid.
You're not saying rushes, are you?
I'm not saying rush.
Rushes toward her. Okay,
It's
I saw
Max
that. I saw what you did
behind
there.
him.
Good stuff.
She took a swing at him, so he put her down. He flashes, and with a thud, Max flies backwards. He reaches for the revolver at his waistband, but from across the room, Max flickers again, snatching it away and returning. The crazed boy aims the gun at Tony with a smile. Come on, who do you think you're dealing with? He tosses the gun down. All I wanted was for you to be my friend. A hand reaches for the gun in the dirt. In a flash, Chastity snatches it up, puts it to Max's back, and fires. The image slows, showing the bullet exit Max's chest. Across the room, terrified Tony slowly shields himself one more time. Chastity, at normal speed, walks around the room and faces Tony. She apologizes to him, saying she can't go back. She turns to face Max, the bullet inching closer to her. When the world goes back to Tony speed, it's a loud crack of the gunshot. Both Max and Chastity fall lifeless. The agents, having heard the gunshot from a distance, increase their bipedal movement to investigate. The scene they arrive to is 3 bodies on the ground. Max,
The weirdest way of
dead, Chastity, dead, and Tony cradling Chastity in his arms, with tears in his eyes as he tries to revive the girl. We cut now to the hospital. Tony lies in a bed, monitor beeping away. His mother sits with him. The agents discuss the case in the hall. The USGS has shown up, investigated every inch of the cave, but they couldn't find anything. Maybe above normal magnetic readings, but nothing to explain anything. And Mulder's disappointed with the results. She mentions they were in there, but nothing happened to them. But what if they're too old, he asks. What if, because of the body's changing chemistry during puberty, kids can tap into something? She considers it, saying it's no more implausible than any other theory. And I just want to point out that when she finally decides to, go all in on one of Mulder's theories and say it's worth checking out, they can't do it because they filled the cave with cement. Oh, fuck. They'll never know. Yeah. And she has great timing. No. She naysays everything until this moment. As for Tony, he's not terribly hurt. He'll recover and go back to being a normal kid. The agents leave. Inside his room with his mother, Tony zones out. The camera slowly pulls into his face. He stares at the clock, high on the opposing wall. The ambient noise of the room fades away as he listens to it tick as it inexorably winds. His ears vibrate as the gears inside, moving so slowly he can actually hear and feel the creaking and clanking metal. The hand finally slams to the next painful, tired, endless minute. Credits.
So what are you saying about Tony? Do you think he's the Flash now?
I think
is he coming back for a sequel?
No, I think he's doomed to live a life of normalcy now at normal speed. And they're implying that he misses it already.
He's trapped in that reality now, having experienced the aching highs.
So I don't think we need final thoughts, because I think you have kind of laid bare how you feel about this one already.
Well, I do have something else I wanted to address. Yeah, I don't need to go over the business of the power anymore. Yes, I have laid that one bare. But what I really take issue with is Chastity's decision to kill herself.
I do too.
This is not the first time they have done something like this. The last time that I can think of is the dog whisperer character in the other episode that I can't think the name of. The dog from China.
Come on. Alpha.
Which? Alpha. That's the one. Yes. Yeah. So she decides that she's going to just let herself be carried out the window and die, as opposed to any other course of action. She sacrifices herself for a reason that is known only to her. Chastity decides to kill herself here.
Well, the reason is that she's obsessed with the speed and she doesn't want to go back. I guess it's a little bit more explainable than Barquist.
Yeah, than Alpha. Yeah, Barquist. I think if you're going to go there, you needed to give her one more scene where you could see her being addicted to it as well.
I was going to say she needs a scene where she has a choice to remain normal or get the fix. And I think that would have given that a little bit more weight.
You almost need something that shows the pain of not having it. Like they're actually in physical pain when they're not sped up.
Right.
And something along the lines of, it doesn't last as long for us every time we go in. First it was an hour, now it's a half an hour. Now every time I go in there, I get 5 minutes and that's it. Right. So, the demands that it puts on the body are too much.
The only idea of that is her staring at the clock during the test, which is why they bring that back at the end. It doesn't track as that until the very end. You're like, oh, okay, so maybe that's why she was looking at the clock. She wasn't just bored. She was feeling the weight of normalcy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can get there, by sort of walking along that line of logic, but I certainly didn't get it during the course of the episode. It just sort of felt like this weird choice she made to kill Max, and then sure, go for it.
Here's my issue with that. I agree with you. She should not have killed herself. One, because I guess it doesn't make sense. But two, technically, she's implicating Tony because he's in a cave by himself.
He's the only one standing.
One bullet. The only way this would have possibly not implicated him is if she was facing away from the bullet.
And shot through herself to hit Max.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Except that the bullet ends up in her, because if it went further, it would have hit Tony.
Right. I don't know. I think Tony is in for a world of prison at this point.
No he did have fingerprints on the gun. So
I don't know.
No gunshot residue on him maybe gets him away with it, but
I think
what a case to try.
Yeah,
I mean, can you even imagine trying to prosecute this?
Well, the problem is it's all circumstantial evidence, sure, but you've got 3 people in the cave and only one of them walks out and one gunshot was fired. I don't know. I feel like
that's a 3-body problem right there. Yeah. Yeah, the only other thing I didn't like about it was the classic X-Files out of, and they filled the cave with concrete.
There's no going back.
You might as well, you might as well have burned down Mulder and Scully's hotel room while you were at it, so they didn't have access to their notes. That level of finality it's classic X-Files. We haven't seen it in a while, but it just felt like it was the writer's way of saying, we're never coming back to this plot again. Ever. Don't you worry.
Maybe, much like you, the writer felt this is not his best work. So he's going to just make sure they can't come back to this.
Yeah. And the other thing, I will give this episode a little bit of credit in saying that I like that Mueller does not immediately figure it out. It's not like in the first 10 minutes he has 100% nailed down what this is. He does actually throw a lot of different theories out. We need Chuck to come in and give us more evidence. And then near the end, we have Mulder saying, oh, okay, I think I'm finally starting to figure this out.
Right.
So I actually have to give her credit for teasing out Mulder's response to it. As for the agents actually doing anything, another thing I usually pick at, not sure they did much here other than eventually get to the end, after being some observers to this. But I'm not a fan. Not the best work on this episode. That's where I'll leave it.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's the episode, Andrew.
I think it is. I think you're hungry.
Say goodbye to these fair listeners.
Lovely listeners, thanks for putting up with us as we poop all over Rush. It's been a rush. It's been a fun time. And we'll look forward to talking into your ear holes later.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you liked what you heard, please rate and review on your podcast app of choice. Andrew and I would be eternally grateful to you fine people for helping us expand and get the word out. Also, we've got a killer group on Facebook. Feel free to join in on the discussion at facebook.com/groups/thisisnothappeningpod and become an official member of the syndicate. We do polls and we have questions for every episode to give you guys the opportunity to chime in and possibly let your voice be heard on our recordings. And please join us on our new Twitter at TINHXFilesPod, no dash, to stay up to date on everything, moment to moment. Thank you, and remember, don't stop swimming.